Welcome in this new series where we're gonna tell you everything you need to know before coming to Thailand as an exchange student. We will cover topics from visa to transportation to food. Everything you need to know will be discussed. But first, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Xamaica. I'm both from the Netherlands and from Thailand.
I'm Julia and I'm from Germany.
I'm Asha and I'm from Poland.
I'm Bence and I'm from Hungary.
And in today's episode, we're gonna talk about travel and leisure. So let's dive into the first question. What places have you visited during your exchange and which are your favorites?
Should I start?
Yes.
Okay. So I actually visited a lot of places already, which I didn't expect before coming here. So I've been to Krabi, so the south of Thailand, and Koh Tao, and Japan, South Korea, Cambodia, Ayutthaya, which is pretty close to here, just another city close to Bangkok. Then the last couple of days I've been to Khao Yai National Park.
That's already a lot.
That's a lot, yes.
Yeah, probably much more, but I don't remember now.
And which one is your favorite?
My favorite one was Koh Tao, but also Japan, so more specifically Tokyo. And Koh Tao was my favorite because we did our driver's license there, and like to see all the sea life of Thailand was just incredible. And also it was more or less my first experience riding the scooter alone, so that was also quite cool.
Yes.
And Tokyo was one of my favorites because I have two friends that I visited there. One does her internship there and another friend is doing exchange in Tokyo. And the Japanese culture is just very unique, much more unique than Thai culture. And yeah, it was very interesting.
Alright, so I went to Krabi, Koh Phangan, Koh Tao, Koh Lanta, Koh Samet, which are two islands nearby Bangkok, Kanchanaburi, Khao Yai and Singapore. And yeah, like later I'll also travel to the north and Sri Lanka. Yes. And I would say my favorite is also being Koh Tao. It's such a beautiful island, amazing atmosphere, and I also did with Xamaica our scuba diving license, so that was a lot of fun. And well, the Khao Yai, the national park, was also so spectacular. We saw wild elephants and wow, like just speechless. Like you can't really describe this experience. And I also really enjoyed Kanchanaburi, which is close to Bangkok, and it's just like a lot of waterfalls, rice fields, some temples. So that one was also a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I am gonna go travel actually from now on outside Thailand. So I've been only in Laos, actually 1 week ago. But other than that, I've been inside Thailand. So also Krabi, I've been to Kanchanaburi with Asha. I've been up in Chiang Mai and Pai, and a few other also Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, like the islands. And my favorite, two favorite were one was Kanchanaburi, I would say. I think it was really cool. I loved the waterfalls, loved traveling there around. And the other was Pai. We just had a motorcycle there and went up to the border at Myanmar, and it was just spectacular views. I don't know, I think it was really cool. I was also there with friends from Hungary, so that probably also added up to the whole experience. And I mean, I have a lot of friends of traveling, so I think if you ask the same in 2 months, my answer could be different, but that's another story, I suppose.
Yeah, I think a lot of exchange students are planning on going to the Philippines during
After,
Christmas or New Year.
So Indonesia, Vietnam, there's so
Hajang Loop
much.
in Vietnam.
I have been to Koh Tao too with Asha. So we did a diving license. But before we went to Koh Tao, we went to Koh Samui and Koh Phangan. And after that trip, I went to Phuket on my own because I wanted to find some training camps. And I actually was so surprised by how much I liked Phuket. I've been there before and I really did not like the place, not at all. But I know they have a lot of camps, so that's why I went. But I was pretty surprised surprised by it, how much I enjoyed it. So I think that Phuket is actually really nice if you want to do a Muay Thai camp, so you want to go train and just relax at the beach. But for other things, I would not pick Phuket because I didn't like it when I went with my mom. But for the training part, I think that one is nice. I also went to Kanchanaburi.
Maybe for what camp you were looking there.
Yeah, I was looking for a Muay Thai training camp. I went looking at Tiger Muay Thai and at Southside MMA, and I really liked both of them. The Tiger Muay Thai I had planned to visit, and the Southside came on my path. So I probably gonna do both at the end of my trip here in Thailand, like in the last 2 weeks. But I went there just to go visit them so I can see what it was. I really wanted to know, like, do I like it there? But it was I was actually so surprised. And I was like really alone. I went alone and I had the bike, and I also felt so free on the bike. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I actually really enjoyed Phuket. I also went to Kanchanaburi, but just for one day with a friend from the Netherlands. She is from Thailand and she is from Kanchanaburi, so she picked me up and we went to Kanchanaburi for one day, which was really fun. And I also went to Kolar and I went to Pattaya, like everyone went to Pattaya almost in the first week. And I also went to my family in the northeast in Sakonnakhon. It's also one of my favorite places, but it's just very poor. It's just rice fields, but it's, oh my gosh, so that is really nice. Second one, how do you plan your travels within Thailand and to neighboring countries?
Sometimes it depends on which kind of travel it is. Like within Thailand it's probably easier because you just want to go Asia, then you first book transportation like bus, train, or sometimes airplane if you go to an island, or ferry. Depends. If it's shorter trips you can do it very spontaneously, and depending on, like for example, if you want to go to Chiang Mai during the Lantern Festival, then of course you have to plan it much more in advance because all the prices like accommodation, transportation, everything will be more expensive for the time, the period during festivals and special occasions. But like for example the travel to Koh Samet, which was just 3 days, we booked it the day before in the evening and then in the morning after we left. But then Japan and Seoul, or Japan and South Korea, we also planned it in advance so that the flight tickets wouldn't be that expensive. And now for the Philippines we even created an Excel file because we will be more than 10 people, and then you have to coordinate who arrives when and who wants to participate in which activities, and we try to travel also as many islands as possible on the Philippines, so that of course requires more complex planning. And then what I always do is to read through some travel blogs of other people because they give you a lot of useful tips and advice where to get cheaper options, or like what you should miss, insider knowledge and restaurant recommendations.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to add, to be honest. It depends. I like to use Excel just for prices to see where I want to go, to like have everything in one table. That's what I did for the next 2 months. Usually when you travel outside of Thailand, I think it's just you have to plan ahead. So I bought my tickets now for like 1 or 2 months ahead. But in Thailand we always it was last minute usually. So we just said, okay, tomorrow we're gonna go here, and then we bought the bus or whatever, train. Just went.
Remember, want to go Asia for bus.
Yeah, want to go Asia. It's actually not just for Thailand, it's also in Indonesia, Malaysia. It's like a lot of countries here, so it covers most of traveling here.
Do you have something to add?
About the costs, I have something to add. Like if you are a bigger group traveling together, what I can really recommend is to use tree count, because often you book like flights as a group and then one person pays and the others owe you something, so then you can just put it in tree count, and for each travel you can do a new tree count folder, and it just adds up all your expenses and then in the end like creates saldos where you know who owes
Cool. Yeah.
It's the
Or
same
also
with
what?
Splitwise. And,
Yeah.
there are a lot of apps I think you can use, but it's useful because it's a lot of stuff.
Third one. What are some tips for traveling cheaply in Thailand?
Yeah, as we mentioned before, they want to go Asia. It's a very good website to book the buses and ferries. And I think when you go, for example, to the north to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, or to Krabi, if you want to save money, instead of flying, you can just take the night bus.
Or the train, the night
Or
train,
day
the
bus.
train. Yeah, so buses and trains are cheaper than flights.
Yeah,
You have-
I came from Laos with a train that was 300 bucks. So
Crazy.
yeah, and
Not even 10
I mean
euros.
it was actually really bad. I
Okay.
cannot use any bad words here, but yeah, you can find cheap options for sure. It's a bit less convenient, obviously, but you always have to give up convenience if you want to travel cheap. So
Yeah, I think also like with the islands, you have speedboats and normal ferries, and speedboats will be more expensive, but you will be there like in 2-3 hours, and with the normal ferry it was around 8 or 9.
But
There's
speedboats feel very dangerous, for at least in my opinion.
I didn't went.
I think
so
it was.
Okay, okay.
Speedboats are fun. I think.
I think they're fun.
I like to travel with speedboats.
She thinks it's dangerous.
I mean, it's dangerous but fun. It's the same as motorbikes. They're
Yeah.
dangerous but fun.
Yeah.
From my experience, for cheaper options, it's also always convenient to travel in a group because, like, if you plan to do a boat tour, then you can always get group discounts, and you have like your private boat, not with anyone else together. Or when we did the diving course, we also get a group discount. And yeah, then for transportation, like at the places where you travel to, use the scooter because it's the most convenient and the cheapest option, and you don't need a driver's license.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
like
we shouldn't really.
I don't know if we should mention that.
I know like in the islands, Bolt and Grab, it's either hard to find or it's very expensive.
Or
so,
non-existent.
Or no, yeah,
No,
non-existent.
actually, most of the islands have their own travel. Like they have either trucks or some kind of their own taxis,
Yeah.
kind of.
But
yeah,
they're
but
all
those are also more
expensive,
expensive,
right? So I would recommend you to hire a bike. Go rent a bike. It will take you to. It's I think
Don't
around.
break it.
What is it? Around 250, 300
Yeah,
bucks
yeah, yeah.
a day,
And then
and
for two, you can even like you can
You can split it
share
and-
one bike with another person, and then it would be only 150 bucks
Yeah.
for you per day.
Yeah, but even 300 a day is actually pretty good.
yeah, I think it will really save you money. Like at Koh Samui, for example, we did try to find boats. It's so expensive. It's when you go, it's already more than 100, so you can better just rent a bike. Okay, the fourth one. What activities and events are popular among students?
I think the most recent one is probably the Bangkok Marathon. I will also run one, but like there's the most famous one was on 17th of November, but that was at the same time of the Chiang Mai Lantern Festival, so I couldn't go there. And now we will go to the other famous marathon on 1st of December. So that's one.
The Lantern Festival in Chiang Mai was an activity a lot of
It's
people
in
went to.
November. Yes,
The full moon parties in Koh Phangan every month.
Yes.
But they are like recently there have been some warnings about terror attacks. So check it out before you go. Yeah.
Okay, so check
Our
the news.
professor just
I mean,
set up
obviously,
this-
always check the news.
Yeah.
I was in Laos 1 week ago, and just 2 days after I was there were news about methanol poisoning. 6 people died, and yeah, it was actually in Bang Vieng, which was 1.5 hours from where I was from. Like, I knew a guy who was partying with the girls who died. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
pretty.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's crazy.
It's pretty. Yeah, it can get dangerous. Obviously, you have to be careful always, everywhere.
Yeah. Also, like, check the weather.
Yeah.
Because in the islands, like the side of Phuket and the side of Koh Phangan, it's totally different weather. So really check the weather before you go. Even with the
Although sometimes it doesn't help. But yeah, make sure you check the weather. Sometimes it won't turn out like
Yeah.
the weather forecast says.
and I think also with the hurricanes and stuff, with the water, and I know there were some
floods. Yeah,
Warnings.
just be careful. You know, like check the
Yeah.
news, be up to date.
Yes, but coming back to the topic, a lot of exchange students also did this scuba diving license in Koh.
Yeah, I think also like almost everyone we know.
Yes.
Yeah. And everyone went to the waterfalls in Kanchanaburi, the big one. I think almost everyone went there. Pattaya, everyone went in the first week just to see what it was, I think.
I think it's very overrated though.
Yes.
I haven't been actually. That
Oh,
one.
you haven't been?
No. But I mean, I'm not really. I'm okay with missing that.
I think, yeah, I think
Everyone
that's
had a Thai massage already probably.
Yeah,
but
we all had a
that's a must do.
it. You have to
And
drink Thai
Muay Thai
tea.
training.
Yeah.
Muay Thai, yeah.
And watching a Muay Thai fight, which you can also do for free, like at Chop Shark Market or
Channel
MBK.
7. Channel 7 each Sunday, really good, really fun. But they are young, so if you're not resistant to that, don't go.
Okay.
There are one more younger fights, so 14, 15, sometimes even younger. But it's really spectacular. I think that's a good thing. Muay Thai is a real thing you should experience, even if you're doing it or watching it. It's really nice.
And fire shows in the south and on the island. They are basically every night just go to a beach or ask at the
But
bars
it's
or
probably if you go
restaurants.
to any beach, it's gonna be there. Like
Yeah.
usually they're just fire shows are everywhere. But yeah, definitely.
The last one, how do you make time for sightseeing alongside your studies?
So most of the times I did sightseeing, it was when my friends or family came to visit me. So I basically saw all the temples around Bangkok already 3 or 4 times. And yeah, it wasn't that difficult to make the time for it because I only have 2 days of uni per week. And then when my friends are there, we just like I make a planning what I want to show them, which includes the temples, the Grand Palace, you know, the river, the Ikon Siam and the water show there, and Ayutthaya.
I think yes, a good step is to class through all your classes in a few days, so you have more days to travel. So a lot of people are having their classes only in 2 days or in 3 days, so then it allows them for more time to travel. I think that's a good step.
Yeah, same. I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I can go travel. But sometimes, like, universities here is not that serious, to be honest. So they usually don't really take attendance, or you can ask your friends to write you actually on the paper. Yeah, it's. I think for some travels you will need more than like 4 days, so you will have to miss some classes. But it's not tragic. I was actually on most of classes. It's usually not that.
When we went to Koh Tao, we missed 2 weeks. So it was like also kind of it was with the full moon party, but we went for 2 weeks to visit everything and do the driving license. I think it's really not that of a problem. I also told my teacher I have a class that is split into 2, so I have 2 lessons a week for that one class, and I told him in front that I was missing the classes, so he knew that, and he.
But make sure you don't have anything important there, because I was left alone in one group project actually, where I was like the only one there out of 5 people where we had to
that's not
present.
nice.
So yeah, there are some. Obviously, you have to know your schedule. So don't go away when you need to present or do something. But other than that, you have a lot of free weeks, especially in the beginning, and then after the midterms, you have like lots of freedom.
Yeah, and they are also like very flexible. Like in that week, I actually had an exam on the 2nd. He just said it like in the week I was going, and then I just told him that I wasn't there, so he moved the exam to a week later.
Yeah, so you can also, especially if you're a lot of people, like exchange students going somewhere, you can talk to the teacher, they might reschedule stuff. So.
Yeah, they really understand it because they know that it's every year it's the same, so probably they know.
Yeah.
Okay, then that was it. If you have any questions about this video, leave a comment, we will help you out. Thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye!